Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LTA 2025 matchup.
Fight ahead in items and just outplay it and push that through for the win. So the onus, I think, is really on paiN to try and break that cycle because FURIA are so good at it. The 3 versus 2 now developing. Here comes Curry, as you said, Ignite going down onto Weiser. He's dropping pretty low. Oh, iron with the first blood perfectly calculates the damage. Tati around the corner as well. Curry maybe on the wrong side of a 1 versus 4 dive. Let's see how FURIA can manage it. These towers are trying to dissuade it more at this point. TP coming in. Remember, it takes a hot minute to arrive and FURIA are trying to get out of dodge. Karaoke around the corner. Jojo not looking too healthy. paiN might be able to catch him on the way out. Might have to burn a flash, but will be allowed to stroll away.
So, again, continuing again to just find an advantage where they should.
Absolutely. Dragon started up by Tattoo on the bot side. Karaoke away on that top side shouldn't be contested at this stage. So paiN with 1 camp to their name and now 1 apiece as FURIA picks up that
upside. And that Gwen that we've been talking about that we should be fearing more so on this paiN side is actually going to this next fight. Tuts with teleport is going to be able to contribute if he wants to.
Weiser committing the ultimate there and getting the reverse out. Tuts, but drops very low. Remember, he sacrificed a lot of his resistances for this play. Tuts doesn't quite connect with the charm. Weiser able to sidestep it with the footwork and survives on low HP. Still holding onto that TP himself right though and should be able to comfortably back and TP in if he needs to. This grub fight is beginning to unfold. Jojo commits him with the ultimate. Only gets onto Curry. Suffers a lot actually in that exchange. Titan just going for damage on the champions. The grubs slowly eking away. Tattoo completely abandoned now, drops the Crescent Guard, but no one can help him out. Dinkado picks up the credit and paiN complete a 4th grub for themselves.
So Tattoo a little greedy there, could have flashed out the back of the pit, but decides instead to try and work his way out through the front door. Unfortunately, paiN Gaming slam it shut in his face.
Maokai is just such a great champion for him to enable his own team. The consistent carries of Titan, Dinkado and Weiser. FURIA now starting up this second dragon.
That mentality to make sure that we can take that turret and get ourselves that bonus strength in this game. And that looks to be the case for paiN Gaming right now as ulti's committed, TP's committed.
We are sending it down onto Gigo. Gwen has immune at that first one, tries to clear out the wave. The tower now at full power, but there's just so much commitment down here. The damage from paiN is enough. When they drop that much onto Gigo's head, they find the kill. They get a plate in mid as lead without killing anybody and without really doing anything. They just kind of play the game and get ahead and like, well, this is just how it works. But unfortunately now a little bit more being asked of them. Curry in fact being asked some very tough questions by FURIA, trying to get away as the Unbreakable falls, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to save him. They will find the kill. Jojo picks it up, tries to flash to safety. Dinkado wants to finish off, doesn't quite do it. Titan evaporates on the backline. Corki didn't find the Rakan, and now FURIA flashing in on Tattoo's side to try and push for more. The knockups there, double for the Xin Zhao, and just like that, finally they go, oh fine, we'll make a play.
Just a statement as to how good he is as a top laner.
Absolutely, and FURIA now trying to get this Herald going as the Ezreal ult from IU flies across paiN. Everyone's rocked up here, but Gigo is there waiting in the back pocket. TP from Weiser comes in to commit on that front line. Tuts fishing for charms, and FURIA not really able to comfortably finish that Herald off. They pull back and force the reset, allowing paiN to take it over right now. Titan still farming away in mid lane to make sure that gold gets locked up, and FURIA, we're all just dancing around right here. Who's pulling the ultimate? Karaoke drops it, in goes Tattoo, secures that objective, and now the fight is on. Curry looking for an angle. The rest of FURIA have split paiN apart though, and Weiser drops the ult defensively to try to survive. Another kill over to FURIA, plus the Herald. They are walking away with this.
They get one, and they get out. And look at the death time for Carry. 18 minutes into this game, and they've got a Herald as well. Its placement of this Herald seems so crystal clear that if we put it down in the mid lane, we take the tier 1, we complete the outer turret sweep, and then we have Dominion over neutral to try and take it, and I'd argue makes it a little bit more scary for teams to head towards that Atacon. But even still, in this game specifically, how we're looking at these two teams look to play out. Okay, never mind.
Or Tuts appears out of nowhere onto the model of Titan, and FURIA wasted no time in taking him out there. So the Caitlyn drops. Now,
he just got taken out. Nothing to really have been done there. That was even through barrier as well. This will be the Atacon, and this is that big ticket that FURIA needed. Look at the timer on the Drake as well. I
Leviathan at this stage. But now, the Dragon spawning up in 5 seconds. Furia, again, taking aggressive positions in the bot side jungle for paiN, making those brushes dangerous. You don't want to walk into a Rakan ult, into an Ahri charm. You're just going to get knocked down. And as you said, the Atakan gives Furia that little bit of insurance. Karaoke drops the ultimate, trying to punish their aggressive positioning. Gigo's holding the Dragon right now. There's that front line from Tatu. Gets the Crescent Guards out, but has it pulled paiN into a fight they don't want to take. Down goes Karaoke. The killing spree begun for Gigo, and the rest of Furia absolutely send it through that team fight. One withdrawal is secured. Weiser ults Tuts away, but he's still got an ult charge. The rest of the fight has evaporated for paiN Gaming, and Weiser left on his lonesome. Yes, he's doing a little bit of the Cassante Gaming, but Gigo comes around the door to shut him down.
It's a 5-for-1, and the withdrawal for Jojo effectively makes it 5-for-0. The Infernal Soul. However, I mean, great toggling again from the observers. It's just darkness. Like, how do they ever get a foothold into this jungle through Ahri charms, through Ayu's poke, through Jojo's potential engage? FURIA
Committing on, Karaoke commits, gets the cleanse out of Ayu, but leaves himself on the front line and just gets minced. And the rest of paiN or Furia are still going with that Dragon. Ayu ease and flashes forward, goes a bit bonkers on the Ezreal, knocks Ninkado down to a sliver. Now Tuts is in that same position, and here's the angle that you were talking about before. Does get a lovely interrupt on that charm. Weiser using the Pathmaker to escape, but the Baron was being completed the whole time, and now they don't even have to wait for the push. They can just get right down to business.
And that was a 5 versus 3 stall through the topside jungle that FURIA won, where they had no input from Gigo, no input from Tatu, and just the poke and range of Ahri Ezreal. And
not to provide one. They're just working down the checklist of objective to objective without putting a foot wrong. And now they've got the triple lane push right now, and there still doesn't seem to be an avenue for paiN to make a play.
Yeah, again, whatever play they make, it comes at a cost at this stage. They're so far behind that maybe they could go and try and kill Gigo on a side, but he probably 2v1s and then you lose your mid-inhib anyway. So this is the worst of both worlds, unfortunately, for paiN, where they haven't made a play and they're losing everything anyway.
Karaoke again caught on the front line and is not going to be allowed to live. There is some damage back onto Tatu. Flash away with the Crescent Guard. Barely slips away as Tuts pressuring. Lovely charm onto Ninkado. Do they have the damage to finish up? Titan flashes in. Nets forward as well. And Ayu trying to do what he can. The minion wave in a pretty tough spot. Titan with a bit of an angle here. Jojo blocks off the ultimate Gigo. As you said, Rude Dude, we could commit, but the rest of the fight will just fall apart. And Gigo snips them down. The Gwen going absolutely nutty. Cassandra ulted into next week, but the Nexus still falls. Furia.
This top matchup could be pretty difficult for Weiser if Gigo is up to scratch, knows what he's up to. So there's that opportunity again. I like to think that paiN Gaming have got an opportunity to look for it, but again, that's the question. Then how well have they been tracking experience? Did Gigo come into the lane level 5? Was he level 4? And we know he's not close to level 6. You know, all of these things that you've got to think about before opting into that. FURIA looking for the cross map more than anything else. Move their way up to the top. Cleanse on the Kai'Sa, so looking for those engages now has an element of threat, and it might be something that FURIA will look for.
Jojo just walks blind in, and paiN commits hard in, but the damage back onto Titan is massive. Down goes the Killer Instinct. First blood for Ayu on the Zeria's. Jojo will not make it back, but Curry now where to go for this manaless rail. The minion wave even doing some assistance with the block. Crash down maybe gets out of range. Ayu. With that one, Furia understanding the weaknesses when those ults did not come through and not wanting to toss the game away with a risky play around the Dragon Pit. So second is secured for paiN. It is the Cloud Rift here, so not quite as impactful as the Infernal, though it does tend to have massive win rate stats every season, so go figure. But Furia not going to feel like they've lost too much, I think, at least at this stage in the game, giving that up.
No, and I think as well, for the Zeri in particular, if you can get it, definitely very good.
Ooh, Ambessa clips him with the ultimate, and Gigo still in the tower, not quite done. Titan flying in with a Killer Instinct. Tatu has to go down as well. 2 quick kills for paiN, secures the feat of Warfare. And just this pressure too. Are we just going to send Gigo to mid lane, or are they being more respectful than I maybe even thought they needed to be? You know, Gigo given plenty of room, and there doesn't seem to be much picked up just yet. Furia, if they can get mid lane, though, that would be a trade they'd love, I guess.
Yeah, they're just looking to swap out those turrets. They also, again, got Tatu to steal away. It's going to be, you know, quite the mental to try and shake, I suppose, for paiN Gaming is, actually, we can probably stand to leave Ayu for a little bit of time when I compare that to the Renekton, the Zyra, who are also going to absolutely shred.
In comes the Herald into mid lane. paiN trying to rotate back through their own jungle here, and the TP's coming in for a possible flank angle. Curry with a lovely Magnet Storm holds FURIA in place. Tatu gets the ultimate down, but still taken down by Titan. Wiser traded back by IU, the 1-for-1 as the tower still stands. I was going to say stands strong, but that's not what I'd call it, actually. It's almost going to go down.
No, Stiff Breeze will take that down, and it might end up just being a couple of bursts of lightning from IU, maybe a little bit later on into the game, but job so far for paiN Gaming, honestly.
Has got the second item completed, but paiN should be able to clear this one up before FURIA can get back in position. So now 3 dragons. Goal difference is across that duo. So it's a good sign for FURIA, and again, a little bit of a further warning sign for paiN in this area of the map.
And again, do or die for these two teams. This could be the straw that breaks paiN Gaming's season, let alone their back as the tier 2 falls in the mid lane. The soul spawns for paiN.
Ooh, Jojo suffering there. The karaoke was committed. They don't get the kill onto Leona. The ult now sent back as a defense, and FURIA, just like that, completely unseated out of this river, and the Cloud Soul is picked up by
Soul
paiN.
on an enemy team be taken before they take your tier 1 turret, especially like a side lane tier 1 turret, no less as well. Now, paiN Gaming, they've moved their way up to this Atacon. Again, we talked about this in game 1. Trying to contest this as FURIA just because of the terrain, generally quite difficult. And Wiser has got good coverage on these wards and on the flank as well.
Oh, again, Curry in with a lovely rel engage onto Tatu and Tuts. There goes the Atacon. Titan goes in, and the rest of the team did not get the memo. He gets retired, withdraws back to the fountain, and everyone else just kind of shrugs and goes, okay, buddy, see ya.
All right, 200 gold for the enemies in a 15-second time. Just, a little bit of a pit stop in timeout there. All right, fair enough. We've thrown our voracious away. That'll happen occasionally, and we mentioned this at the top of the show as well. Titan, one of these players who's seemingly had evolved into not really being the reason that you're throwing games away, but you make plays like that and you start to worry.
Messer ult onto Gigo does force the retreat there. IU suffering as well, actually. A little bit of damage passed through there. But yeah, Titan again comes right off the fountain, loses the flash, goes right back to it. This time with no health, and yeah, no withdrawal option there. Dinkato at least is thinking...
In a good few minutes. paiN Gaming, their eyes, they're turning toward the Baron. They've lost their Atacon on Titan, yes, but 4 out of 5 fake deaths, they'll happily give up Titan in favor of taking this Baron.
Yeah, if they die with the withdrawal on the Baron buff, they still keep the buffs. Remember, so it's down below half. They are happy to call the bluff of FURIA, and they have to come in a little bit out of position. IU getting stunned up. Down goes the Baron. In goes Titan again. This time it's IU suffering and has to flash away, but now Titan is abandoned. Uses the invisibility. Gigo chases him down and gets the kill as the fight is still looking pretty comfy for paiN. They don't have the AD carry right now as Gigo now caught up on the front line. Double kill for Wiser, or for Decado, I should say, on the Mel, and now Tuts as well down for the triple. paiN, they are just calling FURIA out, saying you cannot sit on the map and do nothing all day. We're going to start the fights. Come and take it.
And then again, like I say, they will happily sacrifice Titan. And it seems Titan will happily sacrifice himself if it gives them the Baron buff and gives them the ability to finally crack open this tier 1 turret. We've seen nothing.
And Tatu missing that critical Zyra ultimate that gives you the real DPS and that disruption element through the fights as FURIA try to rotate, but they're on full vision right now. They're in the choke. paiN know exactly where they are. Curry, excellent on the Magnet Storms thus far as FURIA step into the river. Wiser has a flank angle. Watch out for IU, flashless as he is. Gigo locked up on the front line. FURIA wants to get stuck in. Curry finds a couple, but look for that Zeri. Wiser has the bead drawn on him, and Titan flies in to seal the deal, and with that, the fight is just done. paiN Gaming execute excellently on another objective fight, and this time it's the Elder for them.
Yeah, Titan taketh, but Titan giveth as well. He finds the critical snipes onto IU, darts into the backline and takes him down, and finds the fight that is probably going to end this game for paiN Gaming. Elder at their backs now. The Baron also. It's just about worn off, but their ability to close out this game just got infinitely easier.
And straight back onto the pushes into that bot lane tower. They get the inner. They move forward on to the inhibitor, and FURIA are still dead. These death timers feel like they're about 1,000 years long. We are 32 minutes in, and paiN are going to walk away with 2 more towers and the bot inhib. And this has been pretty well calculated, and they're looking very, very good. paiN going from lane to lane, keeping the pushes going, and now the question for FURIA is, now that we're behind, now that we don't have control, they're committing onto Weiser as a possible avenue to try and slow paiN down. They should be able to get the Ambessa Dunzo with this one. In comes the kill to Gigo, but look at the top lane. The Elder is still on those 4 players. A Titan looks for a little snipe onto Gigo, grabs the execute, and continues in the 1 versus 2. He's flashed in and gone golden, and IU is ticked down by the Elder. Yes, the Kai'Sa falls, but kills are secured. The carries have fallen, and FURIA are running for the hills.
The melody to execute on top of Elder, it's just a disgusting combo. And Dinkedo will find his 2nd triple kill of the game. paiN Gaming will march the super minions down bot lane and even up this series.
That was maybe the most Titan game I have seen in a long, long time, Rude. Look at him asleep in his chair.
Yeah.
He's barely even awake right now. Titan sending a strong message to FURIA. The Game 2 curse strikes again, everybody. And the defending CBLOL champions have woken up in this series. They are not going down easy. Infinity, and some people have picked it up and are not really sure what they're doing. So
yeah,
we'll see which one Curry is.
Yeah, does the coin land heads
Epic
up or
jungle camp apiece, and we will all be shaking hands and nodding quietly as we pass each other in the corridor.
and waiting for 12 minutes before either team decides that they actually want to win the game. It's magically just has won. So I mean, it's 10k to 10k exactly. We are getting that across both sides. The only real discrepancy is in that bot lane. It looks like for the most part is over the
team fights were massive for them the last time we saw it, though. We'll need to see if he can put up a similar performance.
Yeah, and I actually see that we've forced that all. It's actually a pretty big win as IU.
A lot of damage. The Chompers funneling him upwards. They're both Chungers ready in the wings if this gets ugly. Tatu with the ult, though. Karaoke doesn't have it. The commit back onto Turi. Curry with the double cyclone. First blood for IU. 2 games on the trot, and FURIA just had that little bit of XP that really did the damage. Now Gigo committing hard onto Weiser. The red carpet laid down with the World Ender as well. Gigo starts to burn. Can you get one more Q down? The auto is there. The flash and the shield from Rumble keeps my guy alive, but boy was it close. Force up in the top lane for FURIA, but if this Rumble can come out ahead, get that first item on deck and have those ults start really hurting in those critical fights, then paiN can have a little bit more to rely on. Tatu rotating up the top lane as well. Doesn't have the flash, but does have the ult up again, I think, and they're popping the ults quickly. Weiser knocked up, doesn't have a flash of his own. Does FURIA have the damage to get it over the line? Yes, they absolutely do, and Gigo finally gets his man up there. Of monster killing as once again the top lane is continuing to just throw hands up right there. TP available for both of them. FURIA take over the Hextech Drake right now on Vision, and again they clear out very quickly. They drag the pit away. Tuts and Dinkedo trading, but Tuts in fact gets the better of it right now. It's a good start for them. With that, FURIA likely to be ceded full control of this one. paiN instead focusing on the mid wave.
Yeah, I don't actually.
Oh, the ult combination. It's the ultimate down. Curry comes in with the ult. Is there a flash and a spear in the tank? Gigo drops the sidestep and will not give up his life, but in come the
2 giant spells. Now you the paiN. Like, take it that first item.
Gigo in the 1 versus 2. Karaoke's around the corner with Daisy, and there's no flash. You can see Gigo not bothering to try and run to the tower, just trying to stand his ground and get as much of the wave as possible, but Weiser picks up the gold. Bot side, FURIA have managed to rotate people through and grab the first turret feat. So now we're looking for one more kill for FURIA to get the Warfare, or potentially another camp for paiN. And FURIA both 1 away right now, so a bit of a tight margin to see who's going to secure that feat of strength bonus, but it's plays and counterplays across the map. No one's really getting anything for free right now.
Yeah, and overall it is largely neutralizing itself, right? Okay, paiN Gaming, they make this kill play happen on the top side.
From Gigo, so he's not going to have quite as much that survivability, so the Rumble very much online. paiN are going to be happy coming out of that top side, but the rotations onto Dinkedo with no tower and nobody in the pocket to help him. You can see the pings from paiN going straight towards that Herald. They know that FURIA are committing for this one. It's just the 2 versus 1 right now, though. Dinkedo managing it decently, but now the Darkin Blades start to hammer down. Ult does not connect onto the important target, and Gigo should be able to finish this up. A flash from the Yone, threatening onto Jojo. There's the knockup, and the 1 completed. Jinx Rocket down, cannot change the outcome. But Dinkedo snatching the 1-for-1 trade out of a 2 versus 1. FURIA now focusing on the mid lane, as that Herald is a foregone conclusion picked up by paiN.
So I think a little bit of a fist bump as well there from Dinkedo, and quite rightly so. Finds himself a kill in the 2 versus 1 and puts himself back on the map, I feel like, in this series after the Mel game where he was quite whole game in large and in charge, right? Fights versus Tuts and Gage had been largely meaty playing.
Right now would love to threaten the soul as paiN did in game number 2, but it's the mid lane focus for them right now. Not much health on that tower left.
And the turret will fall here. Importantly, with respect to the timers, FURIA, they took first Drake and first turret. The feats of warfare, feat of combat on the bot side. For Gigo onto Rift. So it was a very close run thing, and the turret feat, or the structures feat, I should say. So it's actually though born FURIA clearing that wave out, but with Herald being summoned, I doubt they'll be able to do much more about it. And the fight breaks out in the river. Tattoo!
The best Rumble ultimate as FURIA simply diving forward, going in for the scoop back into the ultimate from IU, and Titan goes down. Dinkado drops a lovely Fate Unsealed, but it cannot change the outcome. FURIA, beautiful team fight around the dragon. Yes, they lose mid, but they're very happy with how that went.
It's a beautiful combo to sync up and question it'd be for IU to channel bullet time. Edo pops his head over the wall, not going to find anything too much, and Tuts, I say that, loses a third of his HP.
Yeah, against the Phage and the Blade of the Ruin King. Unfortunate. Bit of a Yone moment. Is going to suffer in that arena. Has been doing well into the 1v1, but Titan on his own, forced to flash away. Gigo is there with the Nautilus ultimate. The Umbral chains are there. And can Titan escape? The Iron Shield is good. Jojo around the corner to lock him down. Out comes the red carpet, and he's going to get the reset. Yeah. Titan, the team comes to his aid, and it's the double for Curry off what looked like a dead Jinx to begin with.
Just a couple of bonks on the Heartsteel to pick up a couple of kills, and they'll absolutely take it. Titan surviving there. Karaoke's Ivern was insane. Moonstone plus Redemption representatives as the rightful champions so far of our region, and now if paiN Gaming find themselves just not even getting a chance to represent themselves, what kind of a case would that make?
Oh, they got the click onto Tuts right here. Flashes away more or less to safety, but will he be there? Titan's going to get that reset so close as the Azir to going down, and that's going to unlock the Jinx movement speed in the fight. Tattoo can't do it. The fight's fallen apart for FURIA. They absolutely crumble at the first of paiN, and one by one, they continue to fall. Titan sprinting on his lonesome into the jungle, looking for his opposite number. The Make It Rain should keep IU alive, but paiN decidedly the winners in the river.
Yeah, and we mentioned this in the draft. How does IU ever stand an ulti if they're not all in a bounce house? Well, there is the... Normally, we're going to see Tuts actually pumping out DPS, and they're kind of leveraging that and thinking what to go.
Tattoo maybe looking for a chance right here, but the Wiser ultimate is well placed. Splits FURIA apart, dissuades any further action, and I'm not going to blame them for being cautious in that situation. That was a brutal Rumble ult to slow their advance. So paiN now, with every conceivable buff that you could look for, straight into top lane.
Yeah, and we're so worried about mid lane prior. Completely forgotten this is Jinx with 6 scrubs and a Baron. Your structures will melt, and if you don't have 5 people sat here defending, the tools to be able to take to stop them doing this, their DPS is in the mid lane. Wasn't there and to do it, but if you look for a fight, we're going to lose that as well.
Very tough right there. The IU ult drops and slows that push for now, keeps at least the inhibitor turret standing, as Tuts wasn't even able to find that.
If maybe they can still do it, absolutely we'd be here for it, but this feels ultimately like paiN Gaming it had to be these two, and Loud, they sealed their spot earlier on. paiN, against adversity, they may be looking to seal theirs as well.
FURIA twice in a row in the brackets from last split to this one. They come up against the current champions, knocking them down and holding them at bay, and they are inches from securing that glory and stepping forward to move up into that next level. But but twice the champions are looking to slap them down. Loud did it last year, and paiN are now advancing on their base. The Baron buff has worn away. The Voracious Atacant still there for a little bit longer, but again, FURIA hold the line. It will not be super minions for them to deal with just now. It's just an ever...
Pois é, frente a frente, outro ótimo equalizador no pé da FURIA, e já obriga o Jojo a ir pra longe, tem o recuo total, a paiN continua na linha de frente, atacando o máximo possível, o Dinquedo que fica com o dragão, não vai ter alma, não vai ter nada, o que tem é paiN Game, pra cima da FURIA, castigando, Jojo com nada de vida, o Tuts vai ser eliminado, e pode acabar tudo agora, paiN Game nele! A paiN vem puxando, o Titã continua de pé, o Dinquedo vai buscando o Tatu que cai e resta apenas o Gigo pra tentar defender toda a base. A paiN consegue pegar o dragão com o Dinquedo entrando com o Ione e agora vai puxando a base da FURIA apenas o Atrox de pé. 40 segundos de tempo de morte para alguns jogadores da FURIA. Pode tentar uma finalização de jogo aqui, a paiN Game tá com todo mundo menos o Weiser de pé. Eles precisam de uma wave pra invadir a base. E olha, os jogadores da FURIA já sabem que o golpe foi muito duro. Já estão abatidos 10 segundos pra Will voltar, 5 segundos pro Jojo. Pode não ser o fim nesse push, mas agora a FURIA precisa encontrar força aonde talvez eles nem saibam se tem.
Lateral, mas não dá, cara, não dá. A paiN Spreca vem bem.
É isso, o Gigo agora tem que voltar, o teleporte dele está voltando, então deixar aquela wave ali era também o timing que a paiN queria pra começar a ameaçar o Baron. O Gigo vai chegar na base, vai defender e a paiN vai começar a tentar baitar isso daqui. Ghost do Titã tá de pé daqui a pouco, Tatu tem que tentar roubar. Se a paiN pegar isso daqui, é o fim.
Ai, 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 meus amigos. E agora? O que é que vai rolar? Eles vão abandonar o Covil. Ih, parou e o gol foi! Ele parou e ficou fácil pra paiN virar pra cima dele. E aqui o destino está cravado e o destino é tradicional. A paiN Game vem pra ameaçar, vai pra amassar e pegar a última vaga Américas. O Gigo tenta agora salvar, ele tem bastante dano pra causar, mas tem a paiN inteira, vem pro Ace e tá lá! Ace paiN Game que vai pra fase América!
E não podia ser diferente, o Titã não podia ficar de fora dessa fase Américas. 3/1/8, mais um jogaço do Carioca e também do Weiser garantem a paiN na próxima fase. E ainda, na melhor de um, é paiN contra Loud de novo e de novo e de novo.
É tudo em paiN Loud aqui. Foi a abertura do split e vai ser a finalização da nossa fase de conferências. A última vaga do Américas. É paiN Gaming.
Agora é aquele jogo de definição.